All right. Hi, everyone. So I've been floating around in Instagram on different comic collectors pages, and someone asked me to talk about my collection, how I store it, um, and all that. So, real quick, I have 36,000 uniques. I believe that in a couple weeks I'll be up to 40,000 uniques. My goal of collecting is that I want to do a sort of library museum of comics created between 1980 and now. Um, what we commonly call the copper or modern era. Copper slash modern era, in that copper ends within modern, whatever. So when you collect comics, there's several reasons why you do it. You maybe were raised with comics, and this is a way of rekindling your childhood to some degree. Um, you might also view it as a retirement plan. I'm going to buy these super collectible comics that are coming out now and have come out in the past. And then one day when I need to, I'll sell them and I'll buy that expensive car I've always wanted, or make sure that my family's okay. And then it's me who didn't necessarily grow up in comics. I lived in South Africa for the first 18 years of my life. And it was during apartheid. So we weren't really allowed things that were American made due to sanctions. And when we did get them, they're very expensive. A good example of this is CDs. A CD that you could buy in the States for $6, $7 was $20, $30, sometimes $60. Cars, same deal. So anyways, the comics I did grow up on were Whitman's, which Whitman's was basically a relabel of Marvel Comics. And at the time, Whitman's was also doing Archie. And so I grew up reading Archie and Veronica, also Casper, those kind of titles, and then a lot of Tintin and Asterix and Obelix. Actually, over here, that way, I have all the Tintins and all the Asterix and Obelixes back to back on that shelf together. So my view of comics is more comedic, and you might see it in my taste of comics. The artist I'm really into right now is Scotty Young, because it's a play on his style. I feel is a play on what we wish comics were, and then the action that happens inside the comics is what they actually are. Of course, I appreciate Alex Ross and many others, and you'll see. I'm going to go through a bunch of pictures. I decided not to do video walking around because I can't show you as much detail without making you guys very seasick. And my wife did not want to be in the camera at any point in time. So let's get this started. But you'll see in my room I have a lot of Alex Ross posters. Okay, so the 40,000 comics that I'm going to have, or do have, so I have 36 plus about 9. Yeah, so I have about 45,000 comics. 36 of them are unique. And the other 9 I'm still processing, so I don't know. Normally, out of lots that I process, the 9,000 that I'm processing, I get about 50% of them for my collection. Or PC, as people call it, personal collection. In this particular case, I bought this collection with cash, and I traded all the comics that I had. It was about 7,000 comics that were extra. So I'll talk through some of the stuff. So it might be useful to someone trying to go large scale. You might also see how freaking disorganized I am. Oh, sorry. That might inspire you. All right, so I'm going to screen share this. Okay. So this is my this is my living room over here. We have a family room off to the left side. I staged this area for incoming comics. So yeah, you can see in the forefront over here, you can see a bunch of short boxes. Those are ones already processed. I've decided I don't need those. And we'll talk real quick about how I know that. And then back here are the ones I'm keeping. What you don't see is in the family room, there's like an L-shaped couch, and I use that as my work area. So I have a phone app called CLZ Comics. CLZ Comics. It uses barcode, so you scan the barcode. When that doesn't work, you can look it up by issue or by series, and you basically just add it to the database. You can put in things like the quality of the comic, what box it's in, all that kind of stuff. And I'm in the process of cleaning up my collection so that all that stuff is documented. When I bring any comics in, I bring them at a default at a 9.0. I'm not a grader. I'm horrible at grading comics, but it helps me price set what the value is of my collection. So that's not a hard number, but if my value of my collection, they go by Go Collect value, which is a smaller subset of comics, but if the value of my comics go up 10%, then I know they went up 10%. I don't use that number as my investment number. Okay, so at this point, I don't label any of these comics. They are raw. They are not in plastic or board. Yeah. So if you look at the orange chair on the seats, those are magazine size. Not quite legacy, but magazine size. It's kind of like the DC Blacks. So they're larger. I have a LP case, which you'll see later, that I put those in, and then I just bought party bags and boards for magazine size stuff, so I'm excited about that. I think I've actually run out of room in the LP box already. It's been like 4 weeks. I started collecting almost a year ago now. Yeah. Okay, so this is my garage. Big fan of Coke. It's helped me be the chunky guy I am. Okay, so the brown boxes in the front here are supplies I just got. Boards and bags, about 3,000. I ordered normally anywhere between 3,000 and 6,000 in one go. I did not expect for the lot that I'm busy processing now to be so big, so I'm probably going to have to put in another order. Typically, I try not to keep them in stock because they just pile up, and it might be like a week or two before I get another set of boxes in, and then they just sit there. So I try not to do that. The COVID kind of introduced a shortage in party bags and boards because they're coming from China. That seems to have passed now, so I can get stuff pretty quickly, so that's good. It's just a beer fridge and a fire safe box in the yellow over there. The BCW boxes, love BCW. Their boxes are nice and rigid, very uniform, and the ends where the handles are, the cardboard sticks out a little bit on either side, which is nice because it grips into the ground, it grips into the box that's below them without damaging. So I really like them. You'll see more of those. That's my overflow of indie titles. I've officially run out of room for indie titles. So this is, probably 1,000, maybe 1,500 indie titles that I didn't have room for in the normal place. All the indie titles will end up here eventually. I'm busy rearranging a bunch of stuff. Okay, next picture. So this is the lot I just got. If you compare it to the pictures that I had on Instagram, you'll notice a whole top layer is gone. And then on the right side, there's a lot gone from there as well. So working away at it. It's good. These are boxes of HeroClix. I have into the thousands of HeroClix. I have some here on the floor with me. I have these boxes. I don't actually know what to do with them. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so I got these two big cabinets in the garage. We don't own this home, by the way. We rent it in California. I bought a set of comics from a guy out of a auto garage. Someone owed him money and dumped out their comic book store to give it to him. But this person was stashing certain issues. And it looks like he was stashing really good issues, but then he got rid of those ones. And what was left was what I ended up with. So when you see Silver Surfer there with Thanos, I have probably 40 or 50 copies of that. More. And believe me, nothing of interest. More. Just stacks of 10 of these. Like they come from Diamond. Or did back in the day. It's a lot. So this probably is about 5,000 comics, 5 to maybe 7,000 comics. I don't even count them in with my collection count. If someone wants them, come pick them up. So here's some of my packing supplies. I keep kind of a rung of medium size shipping boxes. I know it's not ideal for shipping comics. I know that. It's when I need to ship something that no one cares, neither me nor the delivery cares about the quality of the comics. They go in that. The ones below them in the big stack, that's those comic mailers that everyone loves. Yeah. So now we're upstairs. We're in the house upstairs. This is the guest bedroom. This is where I keep the indie titles. These are all BCW boxes. So that's 5. A stack of 5. So a stack of 5, and they are all bagged and boarded. So a stack of 5 bagged and boarded is about 600 titles. So 6, 12, 18, 24. And the same for these. So I have about 9,000, maybe 10,000. 10,000 probably sounds like right. 10,000 indie titles. And that includes Image and Dark Horse, who I have a hard time calling indie nowadays. But there you go. I mean, there's a comic book pricing guide and some other really beat up comics. So I keep it all. So this was my overflow. These need to move down to the garage. So the goal is to take all of these out, move it to the garage, and then this will become overflow for what's in this room, which is DC and Marvel. So this is my supply cupboard. This is where normally boards and bags go, and dots. So I use clear sticky dots on the back of my poly bags to seal them. It goes so much quicker than resealables. It goes way quicker than tape, and they're dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. I buy 6,000 for $5 on Amazon. Really good, and it goes super quick. So if you're wondering if tape's killing you, try that. This has also become overflow for my Marvel Legends. I don't want to call it a collection. It's just Marvel Legends. I had a plan a while ago to cover the ceiling in Marvel Legends. I did a 6x5 block in the corner, and I couldn't do anymore. It was crazy. So I took them all down. Some of them are living in this room right now. Others are there. I need to figure out what I really want to do with them. Most of them are crap. Most of them don't have the BAMF build your own figure pieces, because I bought them really cheap. I mean, you see Shuri there. Whenever you see Shuri, you know that that's a desperate person looking for Marvel Legends. Yeah, so don't know what I'm gonna do with that. There you go. 3 deep and then some. I got some nice ones, but nothing significant. Okay, so here's the work in progress. I'm still working on the ceiling. I'm also still working on, I just got this big cabinet in the middle. The small one, the 2x4 that's against the wall. Whoops, no, I don't want to comment on it. This guy was on his side over here. So I moved him over there, closed the curtain, and started filling in here because I was out of room in this room. Yeah, so this is my version of a whoa, what just happened? Whoa. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. This is my version of a spinner rack. It's a wall-mounted magazine rack that I've put onto the side of a bookcase. These are Kallaxes from IKEA. So the one in the back, the 2x4, 2 cubbies by 4 cubbies, it's about $65, $75, and then the bigger ones are $110, somewhere in there. So I get duplicates of certain comics, and I put them in here so people can pull and read them. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'll keep it full of copies, but just with COVID going on, no one's visiting, so it's just I'm spending an extra $80 a week stocking it, and it doesn't make sense. These boxes are waiting to go into this cupboard. They're hiding 2 open cubbies. These are trade backs I'm trying to figure out what to do with. You'll notice an interesting mix of action figures and stuff, and we'll look at them in closer detail. So this is right in the doorway, basically. So I don't have a whole lot of slabs, 15, 20, something like that. I think I have 5 more on the walls in the room. But you can see behind these slabs here, you can see comics stacked in there. So these characters allow you to take 2 stacks, and I'll show it again later, but you can put 2 stacks of comics in there. And it's really good. And that's in silver cases and in silver poly bags and boards. I use silvers because I keep comics exposed like this, and so they give a little more buffer if they get hit or for whatever. You can see there's a dent over here, which is probably me, or someone else, maybe the dog stepping on it right there. So it has a little more buffer. So one cupboard can hold 250 comics. Obviously not slabs, but actual floppies. So 1 2x4 can hold 2,000 comics. So that's not bad. So this is what's on top of that cabinet. Got the DeLoreans. Got Superman versus Muhammad Ali over here. I keep the prices on items when I buy them from my local shop. That way, if ever I show off my collection or whatever happens, they know where I got it. And then it's something to be proud of, that you bought something at the local shop. Then Biggest Brigade Duo, the Mini Heroes, the Metal Heroes, a little bit of Doctor Who over here. I have metal signs back here of, superhero pictures. Big Back to the Future fan. I got these. I got all the Supermans and all the Wonder Womans in the 5 different styles of Umagami, I think it is. Chris Umagami, I think. Umagamika, something like that. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know that I would do all 5 designs again. But there you go. That's what they look like when they're complete. This is behind the door. Okay, a couple things here. You can see the posters on the wall coming up over here. That's a Foes of Spider-Man one, which is really awesome, a DF. And then most of these pops are pretty cheap pops. Like you have InSync and whatever. But then you got some awesome stuff. It's a mix. I used to collect pops. I got up to about 600, I think, maybe less. And it burnt me out. Like how fast they're bringing them out, the variety, the variations, and then how they always screw people when it comes to getting the limited ones. Like, it just, like, everything felt like a limited edition, and you couldn't buy them anywhere, and then you had to pay through the nose because someone was using a hack program. So, not a hack program, but a high-speed clicker. So yeah, that's, I have them at different places around the room. Okay, so here's this trade backs I was talking about. Here's my comic on display for the week. It hasn't changed in a while. I do need to change it. Yeah, Heroes. Not an expensive comic, but iconic at the same time. 9/11. Deathlock. My wife is a obsessive Lego builder, so she built me the 1989 Batmobile. She has never seen a Batman movie. And she built me the Iron Man print. This is kind of fun. This is my last purchase. The Bat 66 phone and head. The head lifts up. There's a button. You push a button and it turns a light switch. Kind of neat. I was going to use the multiverse, the DC Multiverse McFarlane series to kind of fill in gaps every now and then. You can see I started doing it. This got knocked sideways. I kind of gave up on it because I stopped the latest wave. I don't really like. So buy stuff you like. You'll notice that a lot of the stuff I have around here is like super, super random. When it comes to action figures, I just buy what I like or what I think is significant enough. Like this Batman action figure back here is signed by the Four Horsemen. Let's see. Carnage, I said I didn't know what to do with him. Here's more legends. So here's what I was talking about, stacking them back to back. So this is looking into one of the cabinets. And yes, every single one of the comics I have in my unique collection is boarded and backed, except for comics that are magazine style, treasury style, or golden age that have been, sometimes silver, that have been damaged enough that they won't fit in a bag. This is kind of the only action figure type thing that I have that's worth any money. It's the Joker and Harley Quinn, signed by the Joker and Harley Quinn, signed by Margot and signed by Jack Nicholson. So, some more, comic book guy. Everyone that I talk to goes, "Oh, you should have the comic book guy pop," and I just kind of smile and nod. This is a Chinese ripoff of an Art FX. I was trying to figure out if they're pretty good. This busy multi-slacking has to do with the job that I'm at. Skateboard, limited edition skateboard with cap on it. It's not me writing it. I would have broken it. Someone else, I bought it from someone secondhand. I actually like the fact that it's got some wear on it. My metal detector. Okay, so I'm in the middle of doing the ceiling, and the couch is just trashed. I got Stanley's hot toy over here. I've got a laser show thing over here. I've got more things to hang up on the ceiling. Yeah, just trashed. So this is okay. So it's at the bottom here. These are HeroClix. Around 200 HeroClix. This is the LP record cabinet that I bought for magazine-size magazines. This is a new notebook I just got from work. TV. Got some encyclopedias here. So if you watch my show the other day, we did a quiz show. So I based it out of these encyclopedia books, which are pretty good. I've got some miscellaneous crap lying around that I got in line boxes. Superman cape. So it gets super messy. Okay, so this is an anniversary gift. It's a Superman Unchained, signed by Jim Lee and a couple other people. I got the Hasbro Legends Captain America shield. It does not look metallic as you would expect. It looks very comic-like. And then I have a signed Christopher Reeves, which I'm going to move. I think this is an arcade that I built. It's an emulator and a mini fridge. Okay, so in the closets, so this closet right here, when you open it up, this is more overflow. More overflow. And then at the bottom, there's my Plex solution, which is Synchrony NAS, basically. More overflow. Notice these boxes are all over the place. Not nearly as neat as my indie collection. More Overflow, comic cards, and Gundams. Well, SD Gundams. These are all comic cards, everything from 1970s to today. And hammer. I have a hammer? I have a hammer. And then more Overflow. So in the closet, my guess is we have about 7,000 or 8,000 comics in that closet. More Overflow. So this looks like chaos. Fire extinguisher. Lots of Coke. Not cocaine, but regular Coca-Cola. Yeah, this is where I work. So I work pretty much 8 to 5 every day, doing a tech job. And then this is also where I do the recordings for the show and all that. The big screen is my main computer, Windows 10. That's the white glow under the desk. And then the middle screen is Mac. And I have 5 Macs running into that. And then the screen closest to the camera at this point is Linux. And I have 3 Linux machines running into that. Yeah. Then I have miscellaneous lights everywhere because the lighting in this room really sucks. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not pretty enough to worry about lights. AC. Okay, when you're working in a room that faces the sun coming up in the morning, it is critical that you have an AC. And then dog bed. And my dog likes to jump up and look out the window. And so we put this here for him. Inside are some artifacts, action figures, or statues rather. Okay, so this is right above my computer desk, Secret Wars, Alex Ross. Then we got I think this is Marvel meets Ultraverse. Then we got a Havoc poster. We got a DC Rebirth poster. We have a Wolverine poster, which is terribly hung. It was the first one I did, and it was not good. This is from the South Texas Comic Con. It was when Marvel Zombie was big. There's my Hulk. Smith's Muhammad Ali Whitman special. Another Alex Ross over here, Captain America. And as you can see, still working on the space. And yeah, some fun posters. This poster, which is the DC villains with Joker in the middle. This poster is so thin and so cheap that it keeps tearing. I'm gonna have to replace it. This is a Planet X, Universe X poster, also Alex Ross. And this is behind my desk. I got all these legends, Marvel Legends, because they come with the comic book. It was really hard to find them with the comic book intact for some of the older ones. It's pretty neat though. And then this is when you walk in that tall cabinet that I put in place and I moved the other one and blah, 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 blah. This is what's on top of that. So my wife made me the Iron Man head. Black Panther, which I went out and bought when Chadwick died. And then these are made by this really fat Spider-Man over here. Is made by a guy on Etsy. It's really awesome. You can see my link Legend of Zelda flute fell. I'll have to cut that out, I guess. That's it. So I'll stop sharing. So, not rocket science. I definitely feel like I am privileged enough to have a space for these. And it's a good space. It really worked out well. It's a big room. The closets are really good for storing comics in. You know, I could stack comics to the roof if I wanted to, or to the ceiling. I really don't want to. I want to make sure they're accessible. What I do wish I had was on these Cax door things, I wish I could put doors. There's a person on Etsy in Canada that makes these really nice doors. I just ordered some stuff today to see if I could figure out how to make my own doors. So we'll see. That'd be a nice touch because it hides some of the natural non-uniformity that happens with comics. You know, they want to fall over. They want to kind of stick out from each other. It's just, that's what they want to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What about buy comics? Oh, I'm so sorry. What do I buy comics? So I look at Craigslist, I look at eBay. What I do with eBay is I sort by what is closest to me. And then the people that are closer to me, I try and make a deal with them. I'm like, I'll come pick it up. You can cut all those shipping costs. I pay you up front just like you would on eBay. I'm not going to page through everything and pick up only what I want. So I have a regular guy that I go to. He's in Cupertino. He gets me some awesome stuff. And that's probably about 100 titles a week. 50 to 100, like in that range. And it's from silver to modern. It's all over the place. But great stuff. Totally blind. Totally trust the guy. Then there's a guy in Oakland that has screwed me over 3 times now. So I cut him off. I don't know, how many times does someone have to screw me over for me to cut them off? And now I've just started a relationship with a guy in San Mateo. And he seems pretty awesome. I think he's going to come by in about a month and take a look at my collection. Yeah, so I'm not finished, right? There's obviously decoration stuff that's going to happen. The wall right behind me looks like junk. A lot of the walls look like junk, but whatever. With the collection, though, I still have a lot of comics to sort and process and put in the right place. The series that I've finished, which is about 2,000 out of 7,100, I'm going to put in the closet, both here and in the room next door where the indie stuff is, so that it's out of the way. It's not being worked on, so I can number the box in the database, so I can find the issue easily. And then these cabinets, these bookshelves, become more of the working set. So that's good. Yeah, so I think that's it. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm very open about my style and my attempt at doing this. All right. Have a good one, everyone.